My name is Beth Schiable. I run a business called Quill Arrow where I make letterpress prints, books, and I do graphic design. I was kind of in this place after graduating where I went like, well, do I apply for a corporate graphic design job? That's not really what I want. But to make a living as an artist also feels like a really daunting thing as a 21-year-old. And so I found out about Penland School of Craft and I applied and got a fellowship there, a 2-year fellowship, which was the most incredible place, the place that changed my life. After sort of faking that I knew what I was doing, I was able to take classes for 2 years in printmaking, bookbinding, drawing and painting. A lot of the original equipment, blueprints, parts for presses, is hard to come by. And so everything has to be treated almost delicately. Right away when I got my press, I took it apart with my dad in our garage. And so it was like, don't be scared of it as a machine. It's actually something that's really nice that it doesn't have a computer. Like I can take the whole thing apart and feel good about putting the whole thing back together. And this way that's not daunting anymore. And so when it breaks, I've got a couple of people that I call and it's like, okay, well, let's figure this out. What could work in place of this thing and who could machine this part that's not really being made anymore. Like that's kind of a fun puzzle to solve. And yet there are also people who are making up new processes to work with old machines, which is also super fascinating. Like the majority of the production printing I do uses polymer plates, which are made from a digital file, like something that would have never been able to happen in the way that it's happening now. It happened in other ways 50, 100 years ago. I think right now I'm inspired a lot by slowing down and the things that I know. I don't have a ton of time in my studio. You know, I manage a community pottery studio 6 days a week. And so the time that I have in my studio is really precious to me now. It used to be a thing that I did full time and now it's, you know, I'm in a place where I get to be really choosy about the projects that I take on. And so mostly it's all work that I want to be making. And that stems from a place of slowing down, observation, hiking and walking, reading. I think allowing myself the time to be observant in a way that most people don't even know how to let themselves, you know, unplug that much anymore. And that part feels like I've got to make a conscious choice as an artist to be present in my practice, so I know where that's going to take me. I think a lot of my prints revolve around sense of place, nature, melancholy, like a lot of lost sort of feelings in a time in the world where it feels like everything has to be really fast-paced. I mean, my process itself is also a slowing down and an attention to detail that just takes time. At my job, you know, I am myself, but it's a performance of, there's like a part of me that's at work. And even though I love my work and my job, there's something about being in my studio that I feel the most grounded and connected to myself and the most like genuine version of myself. In every other thing that I do, I coach volleyball and it feels like a little bit of a performance. When I'm at work, I'm sort of like got my work brain on, but this is totally a different letting go. I think I had a really long creative block when I moved to California. And I think part of that is based on like how my work is about a sense of place, and now I'm in this whole new place where I don't feel connected to anything. It took me a while to figure out what living here, how it could change it or not need to change it when I thought it did. I think I was also a little bit burnt out. Like in North Carolina, I was printing a lot of wedding invitations, a lot of production work. You know, that's how I made a living. And so that when I got here, it was kind of nice to just stop and go like, what do I really want the next chapter of that to be? And so jumping in at the pottery studio, the community studio, was a nice way to take the pressure off of needing to print all the time and getting back to just like what I wanted to be important. But it was definitely like a full year, almost 2 years before I jumped back into doing Quill Arrow work. you know, what does my artwork mean in this moment in time? I've always wanted to make work that is for your lifetime. It doesn't need to be archival and it doesn't need to last 100 years. I just want each little moment, I want it to be a little moment for someone to have, whether it's a journal that they're gonna fill with their own story or a card that they're gonna send somebody. I think there's space in the like art to craft world that can let all of those things coexist, and so it can be a beautiful object and it can be a functional thing. And I think for me it's just like creating a little moment for someone in their day to just like pause. But there's nothing quite like that moment where you're drinking out of a vessel you know the maker of, or you're writing in a book and you know where it came from. I think we need so much less than we think we do. And so fighting against that urge to like collect, and here I am surrounded by like collections of my own making, right? But as far as objects go, like fewer better things is what I try to live by in my life.